ジンベエ、後釜が決まったってよ。
お前さんが花札を落としたことによる騒動じゃろ。
Wait a minute, who are you?
The warlord who created Kaido's monster army, the rise and fall of Hanafuda. Before the flamingo, before smiles, there was the king of lizards. When we talk about 7 warlords of the sea, we remember these icons: crocodile, Mihawk, Doflamingo. But hidden among them is a ghost. A warlord whose story was buried not by time, but by war. A man who may have kickstarted Kaido's Beast Army long before the Flamingo, before Punk Hazard, before Dressrosa. And his name was Hanafuda, nicknamed the King of Lizards, and possibly the original user of Tyrannosaurus, Zoan Fruit, the Tyrant Lizard King. I know most of us have been asking why there was no T-Rex in Wano arc, but I think his background is way more interesting than his potential devil fruit. He was the father of Ulti in page 1, the right hand that once served Kaido, and the warlord who Portgas the Ace defeated and erased. But here's the thing, if you dig into the timeline, the theories, and the design hints Oda left behind, Hanafuda may be the single most influential pirate you've never heard of. Who was Hanafuda? Hanafuda stood 514 centimeters tall and earned the title of King of the Lizards, a name fans now suspected connects him directly to the Tyrannosaurus Rex Zoan fruit. In fact, there's a skull on his hat that literally resembles a T-Rex. Although T-Rex seemed the only option, fans speculate different dinosaur could be his devil fruit. Looking at the design, his choice of weapon is Kusarigama, a traditional Japanese weapon that consists of sickle, a type of metal chain with a heavy iron weight at the end. But instead of just heavy iron, he uses a morning star. The only dinosaur I could think of with this kind of weaponry is Ankylosaurus. That's just an alternative. His being T-Rex is just too hard to be dismissed. But more important than the design was his role. He collected ancient Zoan devil fruit. That was his obsession, yes, his hobby. Oda lightly puts it, but don't be fooled. This wasn't just some collector's quirk. He was arming Kaido. This is before Smiles, before SAD, before Dressrosa's fruit farms. Hanafuda was buying real, ancient, powerful Zoan fruit to Kaido, and potentially the very same ones later consumed by the Toby Robo. In fact, it's confirmed that Ulti in page 1, Hanafuda's biological children, got their powers after stealing Zoan fruits from Kaido. Firstly, 5 years ago, Hanafuda is still a warlord and still working with Kaido. Around this time, Kaido is still using ancient Zoans, and then Ace defeats him. This caused Hanafuda to lose his position, vanish from the political stage. And then, Caesars begins working with Doflamingo. And 2 years ago, Smile Productions takes off, replacing the void left by, well, someone. That someone, very likely Hanafuda. Hanafuda's defeat by Ace wasn't just a major moment for Ace, it was the end of Kaido's original Zoan pipeline, the trigger for Kaido seeking artificial replacement. This theory is backed by the sharp transition in Kaido's army from real ancient Zoan like Ulti and Jack to unstable artificial Smile users. It is also worth noting, both Hanafuda and Doflamingo were warlords who supplied Kaido with devil fruits. One with real ancient Zoan, the other with artificial ones, and that is not a coincidence. Ace created pre-Marineford victory. After that fight, Hanafuda was stripped of his warlord status and replaced by one and only Bartholomew Kuma. Now think about this. Ace's last known bounty was 550 million. That's Dressrosa's Luffy's level. That bounty came after defeating Hanafuda. So what does that tell us? Ace, at that moment, was already approaching Yonko Commander level's rank. And if the fight against Hanafuda is what triggered his bounty spike, then this wasn't some random warlord. This was one of the most dangerous pirates in the world at the time. And Oda buried him quietly. Why? Maybe because we'll hear more from Hanafuda later. Was Hanafuda the man marked by flames? This brings us to a wild but fascinating theory from fans. First of all, Kid at the end of Wano arc said something very important.
If we want to stay ahead in the scramble for the One Piece, we ought to get serious about that guy.
We want to go after the man marked by flames.
Marked by flames? What are you talking about?
You don't know. I guess we're a step ahead of you.
He was last seen trying to return to his children after being defeated by Ace. He was allegedly killed by pirates with a grudge, but we never saw the body. And who else was defeated by fire and supposedly died? The man marked by flames. It is possible that Hanafuda is the man mentioned by Kid. His clash with Ace would have literally scarred him with fire. And if he's alive, hiding, maybe in Elbaf, that will recontextualize everything. He will be the living remnant of original Beast Pirate era. Someone with knowledge of ancient Zoans and potentially holding one last key to the 4th century. I don't really believe he's the man marked by flames, but if you're interested in this video, you can comment down below. Maybe I should create a video more detailed on this. What happened to his fruit? If Hanafuda did die, there's still a huge question left unanswered. Who inherited his devil fruit?
It's okay, it's dead.
If he really had the Tyrannosaurus Zoan as his nickname and had implied, that's a top tier mythical or ancient Zoan that someone could be holding now. Could it be one of the new Blackbeard commanders? Could Vegapunk have tried to replicate it? Or will one of the Seljuk Dragon be hoarding, fearing its returns? Since Oda recycled powerful fruit post-mortem before, Luffy's Nika fruit was hidden for centuries. So, if Hanafuda had something as destructive as a Tyrant Lizard King form, its next user could change everything.
Nobody move a muscle.
In the end, Hanafuda was more than just one lion warlord in an SBS. He was Kaido's first fruit supplier, father of the Tobiropo, the warlords that Ace defeated, the warlord that got replaced by Kuma before he got turned into pacifista, the warlord who changed the dynamic of the new world by creating one of the most powerful and brutal army the world has ever seen. And possibly the man whose legacy forced Kaido to build smiles. He may be gone, he may still be alive, but one thing for sure, Hanafuda shaped the future of the new world more than we ever realized. And as we approach the final saga, don't be surprised if his legacy comes back to bite. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear your theories. Do you think Hanafuda is still alive? Could he show up in Elbaf? And who has his devil fruit now? Let's talk about it. Knowing Oda, I suspect the fruit was eaten by this little guy. Bro sounds like a T-Rex, and Iceberg named him Tyrannosaurus.